We're about to wrap up week 7. We're going to do a quick view of the waiver wire right now. We're going to look at some of the trending players that you might be picking up on Tuesday or Wednesday whenever your league runs their waivers. We're going to look at a few wide receivers. We're going to look at a few running backs. We're going to look at some deep plays. We're going to look at some shallow plays. We're going to look at a bunch of plays from today's games. We still got the Sunday night game. We still got the 2 Monday night games. We only have 1 quarterback so far that has surpassed 300 yards passing. We have 4 quarterbacks so far that has surpassed 250 yards passing. That means we do not have many wide receivers to look at. So that being said, we're going to be looking at stash running backs, handcuff running backs, guys with upside. And we're going to be looking at wide receivers who are very nerve-wracking to look at, but are racking up some targets. That being said, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're the only channel on YouTube talking about the waiver wire every single day. On top of that, we're using these videos to help you set your lineups. Click that button, stop missing out. Ric Flair's watching. You do not want to disappoint Ric Flair. We're going to start off with Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman looked good today. He had that one highlight reel catch and run, which was solid. 7 targets, a fair amount of the work. 4 catches, 125 yards. He's a roller coaster type of wide receiver. You're going to get a lot of ups. You're going to get a lot of downs, especially during his rookie season and maybe even next year. He's a deep play, a contested catch wide receiver. That being said, those deep balls could get over shots. He gets a lot of contested targets. That being said, there's a lot of fragility with him from week to week. He can blow up on any given week. Doesn't even matter the matchup. He can be a downer on any given week. Doesn't matter the matchup. But this is a wide receiver to look at right now. He's trending. We also got Amari Cooper in the offense. But this could help him with his looks against defenses. This could make coverages a lot more favorable for Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman's got a lot of upside in this offense. He stretches the field a little bit. He gets deep targets. Ray Davis should be rostered in most leagues. He was a big waiver wire get last week and even the week prior. And he looked good last week. He got some opportunity this week. 41 rushing yards and a touchdown. He's the 1B back in this backfield, sharing it with James Cook. He's going to get volume for the rest of the season. He should be rostered. If he gets to return to the waiver wire ever, go pick him up. But Ray Davis is that dude. Romeo Doubs should be rostered after all 14 targets in the last 2 weeks. But he's been up and down all season long. He's been hitting the last 2 weeks, this week and last week. That being said, he's rostered on 73% of leagues on Sleeper. But also, it's been up and down with them. Romeo Doubs runs a lot of routes. He has about an 80 to 90% route participation rate on the season. He's going to be getting that workload. And the Packers have a carousel effect at wide receiver. So on any given week, any Packers wide receiver could blow up on you. Romeo Doubs had a good game, catching 8 balls for 94 yards. Kimani Vidal has not played yet. A lot of upside here. A good stash running back to look at. Good size-adjusted athleticism. Playing behind J.K. Dobbins, who got too many touches last week. Something to monitor going forward. But is a running back that has a lot of juice. Tyler Goodson's got that juice. It got some squeeze today. 1 touchdown, 51 yards, 14 carries. Jonathan Taylor will be back sooner than later. Until then, Tyler Goodson could be a look for you if you're hurting at running back. Anthony Richardson is making it hard to roster Colts right now. And you may just want Jonathan Taylor back there. However, if you're hurting, you want touches, you want some explosiveness, Tyler Goodson is a guy to look at. Audric Estime is getting more run in the offense. Javonte Williams is the guy. We're not saying he's going to take over Javonte Williams. But if something happens, or if we're in the back end of the season, they want to use him more, he's a good running back to look at. He's a good stash play for the rest of the season. They're saying they want to get him more touches, more looks. He got 5 attempts for 29 yards, 5.8 yards per carry, which is very good. He did have a fumble. But that being said, Javonte Williams is also looking good. This could be a messy backfield, but it's a stash play. Stash plays are just players you hoard for a little bit. Cedric Tillman, 12 targets in this matchup. And the story with the Browns is they lost to Deshaun Watson for the rest of the season. Ruptured his Achilles. Jameis Winston's going to be back there. And what I like about Jameis Winston is he doesn't really care. He's going to throw a lot of YOLO balls downfield. Deep ball attempts. He's going to spray it around, and any wide receiver can get it. This offense is going to get more vertical due to that. And a guy like Cedric Tillman, who's getting opportunities in this offense, could be a guy to look at going forward. Could be a guy getting you some upside week to week. Hunter Henry kind of looks like a stretched out Tom Brady right here in this picture. 17.2 PPR fantasy points this week, 13 last week. Drake Maye likes to target him. Drake Maye likes to push him the football. 14 targets over the last 2 weeks, 92 yards this week, 8 balls caught. Also scored a touchdown last week. We're getting a lot of volume. We're getting a lot of workload. Just a 2-game sample with Drake Maye, but we're starting to get consistent here. We're starting to get some fantasy production. He's a tight end 1 with Drake Maye right now. We'll see going forward, but the volume's starting to be there. Drake Maye, back-to-back weeks as a QB1. There's only 4 quarterbacks right now with over 250 yards passing. Drake Maye is one of them. 2 touchdowns thrown. He looks good back there for a rookie. He does. He's getting it done. He's throwing it downfield. He's spraying it to these wide receivers. And for fantasy, he's getting the job done good enough for you. JaMycal Hasty. So Antonio Gibson went out with an injury. He saw 5 targets in this matchup. Caught all of them for 49 yards, got a touchdown. We got some production for fantasy football, 15.7 PPR fantasy points. That being said, if you're hurting at running back, you need one going forward, and Antonio Gibson's going to be out even longer than JaMycal Hasty is a guy to look at. He's a guy to look at if you need those touches, if that's what you're looking for. He's probably going to get some work in the passing game here, evidently from what we're seeing here. 7 targets in the last 2 games. There's some upside here to look at if you're hurting at the running back position. I don't consider him a top tier stash or anything like that, but if you're in a league, 14 team, 16 team, your stashes are wiped out, you're looking for a running back that's getting touches, here you go. Jaylen Warren, about a month and a half ago, you guys were drafting him. You guys are spending like a 10th round pick on him. Now he's free off the waiver wire. We still got to see what he's going to do on the field, but those rushing attempts are going to mount up against the Jets. I do not expect him to go off unless he crosses the goal line here. Not a great matchup, but we got the Giants. We got a bye week. We got some opportunities. We're going to get work in this offense. That being said, you were willing to draft him a few weeks ago. Now it's free off the waiver wire. Go get you some Jaylen Warren. Trey Benson has a lot of upside in this offense in week 6. 5.2 yards per carry. 5 carries, 26 yards. In that game, James Conner hurt his ankle. Came out for a bit. Had to get it taped up. Benson was in there. Mari Demercado was in there. But Benson is a stash play. A good handcuff just in case Conner goes down. If Conner goes down, everybody's going to run to the waiver wire to get Trey Benson. We only have 1 quarterback this week throw for 300 yards. That means there's not many wide receivers to chase right now. That being said, if you need a running back, if you got room to stash another running back and he's there, pick him up to see what happens. He's just a stash. He's just a lottery ticket, but the lottery ticket has immense upside here. And now we're looking at Ricky Pearsall and Jacob Cowling. Both these wide receivers are lottery tickets. It looks like Brandon Ayuk probably tore his ACL or at least has a significant injury where he's going to be out for a good bit. You may want to pick up one of these wide receivers. On Tuesday, we'll go over the waiver wire for the wide receivers in depth. We'll go over the route participation rates. I guarantee you we're going to talk about both these wide receivers and what they're doing on the field, their upside. Both of them have tremendous rookie profiles. Ricky Pearsall, first-round pick. Jacob Cowling broke out with 2 different collegiate programs. Very productive, nuanced route runner, great in the slot. These are 2 wide receivers that could surprise you down the line. Tyler Allgeier is an underrated handcuff that you need to look at. If something happens to Bijan Robinson, you're going to want him on your fantasy team. Everybody will be fighting for him off the waiver wire, so why not stash him now? Because you know he will get that work if something happens to Bijan. In week 6, he saw 18 carries. This week, just 5 carries. Bijan was looking good, but if something happens, this is a running back to get. This is a running back that could turn your team around. He could be rostered, and you just slide him up to your lineup if something happens because this team moves the football, and this team's going to be in red zone situations for the running back, and he will be getting a lot of work if something happens to Bijan Robinson. But those are the players that we're looking at from week 7. We still got 3 more games left, Sunday night and the 2 Monday night games. Who are you looking to pick up this week? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next video.